I want to talk about things that can make or break a successful gaming session in regards to health and wellness. So things you could do that could help you, things that you could do that might not help you. And the first thing that comes to mind, and I've talked about this before, I would say, is overstimulating yourself. Drinking too much coffee, drinking too much caffeine. That could have some pretty negative impacts. Your body can only handle so much. You might know this, not just in caffeine, in everything really. And then it tries its best to dispose of it through, going potty, we'll say. But so you let's use caffeine as the first example. You drink some caffeine, it's going to boost some performance, it can give you that burst of energy. Your cognition is probably going to increase, your ability to make good plays, your reaction time, those are all good benefits. But something that could happen is you could start drinking too much and your body starts to get the reverse effects. You'll start getting fatigued. Your cognition will start to slow down because now your body's working to try to eliminate basically the caffeine because your body just simply cannot handle that much. There are individual variances, so there are people who can handle more than others. A couple of my buddies can't drink coffee at all because the caffeine just makes them overstimulated, and just one cup of coffee will do that to them. And then there are people like myself. I have other friends, and people like myself who can drink coffee after coffee after coffee after energy drink after energy drink after energy drink and still kind of not feel the effects, right? Like get that little energy burst for maybe the second I'm drinking that drink and not really feel the effects. So there's individual variances. How much you can handle is kind of based on you. That would be like a trial and error that you have to do. So there's caffeine. That's something that could make or break a gaming session or your career, right? If you kind of rinse and repeat that action, especially if it's negatively impacting you. Something else I want to talk about is posture while gaming. Having proper posture is pretty important when it comes to a gaming session. The sun is all over the place today in my face. I'm trying my best here. I need like a shield. But posture is important. So there's a fact that I don't think is very well known because I didn't know it until I came across this fact when I was doing research on posture and how it affects gaming performance. But when you're slouching, I learned this learning about cognition in relation. When you're slouching, it's harder for your body to kind of bring oxygen in through breathing. That's because when you're crouched or you're hunched over, especially at a desk, and your shoulders are rounded and you got your hand on your mouse and keyboard, if you're not sitting up, or a controller, if you're not sitting up properly, it's compressing your lungs, which in turn does not allow you to breathe the full amount of air you probably would if you were sitting up. So you can kind of test this out, where if you crunch yourself and you breathe, you can feel it's a little compressed. And then if you open it up, it's significant. Like if you sit up properly with a straight back, it's significantly easier to breathe. Now, oxygen fuels your cells, right? Not all of them, but I'm not a biologist, but it does. It fuels cells. Oxygen fuels a lot of aspects of your body here, and it definitely helps with cognitive ability. So if you are reducing your oxygen intake by leaning forward or having poor posture, you're eventually going to start getting fatigued because you don't have that much energy. Think about it. If you go for a run, however long it is that you may run, eventually you're going to plateau because you won't be able to breathe fast enough to get energy. This happens to basically everybody. It's called endurance. And you're going to start getting fatigued. You're going to start feeling that tired feeling. And that's because you can only bring in so much oxygen and release so much carbon dioxide, as quickly as your body can handle it. And, you'll increase breathing and stuff, which will increase your heart rate, which, in a gaming session probably isn't the best thing, because then the increased heart rate will probably negatively impact decision making, because your body's now in kind of fight or flight mode. But so if you're gaming and doing the same thing, you're going to start breathing heavier. Your body's not going to get the same amount of oxygen that it truly needs, and you're going to probably start feeling fatigued faster. You might not even realize this is happening until you fix your posture, but you're going to maybe feel more fatigued faster than maybe you normally would if you were sitting up, which in turn can help your not only just overall health, but your gaming performance, the success of that gaming session, the success of future gaming sessions. Posture is pretty important. One of the things you can fix or help with your posture, help fix your posture, is an ergonomic chair. They make chairs. There are companies that specifically, and you don't have to spend tons and tons of money, but there are companies that build chairs specifically for posture, like office chairs, or like these gaming chairs. These gaming chairs that are promoted and stuff, I love them. Like, I love the gaming chairs. They're nice. I love how they look. They're sleek. They're comfortable to a certain point, but they're specifically designed for the aesthetics, the gaming, and that's what's the gaming aspect. That's what's kind of put first into the thought, and then posture is kind of like a second. You want the posture as the first, as kind of the first thing that's put in, the most. The most that the company puts in the chair. So like these gaming chairs are good, but most of them are, and I'm sure you know this, they're based off of racing seats and from like vehicles or race cars. And racing seats are not designed they're designed to keep you safe, not to keep you posturally aligned, right? But some of these postural chairs, they look more like regular desk chairs. You don't have to go out and spend a ton of money. One thing you can do is just, if you're sitting on let's say you're sitting on a stool without a backrest, maybe, or any chair without a backrest at a computer. I know this happens sometimes. I do this sometimes. I don't even have a chair at my desk. I have a standing desk and I just stand the whole time. Pros and cons. You should swap out and get a chair that actually has a backrest, right? So you can kind of help prop yourself up. That will also help you prevent from leaning forward a significant amount. You could get a chair with lumbar support. Make sure that chair has lumbar support so you can adjust it. That would kind of be trial and error. I know I have to move mine. Cars do that too. If you drive a car, you know that there's for the most part, there's the lumbar support in there. That thing that lumbar is the lumbar, I should have specified this. Lumbar is the lower part of the lower arch of your back, right above your butt. That's so that's the lumbar support. That's the lumbar spine. The support supports that, and that's kind of like your body works from the ground up, right? So if you're sitting, now it's working from the butt up. So you're going to want to kind of support your lumbar spine, and then the rest will kind of align. So if you don't have any lumbar support back there, and there's no support, and it's just kind of sitting out, you're more than likely going to crunch forward, and it's gonna make it a little harder to breathe. So those two kind of go hand in hand. I think those two are pretty important aspects of kind of improving your health and your gaming performance. So if anybody has any tips or tricks that they use to kind of boost energy during their gaming sessions or help with their overall health, especially when sitting at a computer desk, let me know in the comments. I would be greatly appreciated, but I would also love to hear them. And if you liked the video, hit that subscribe button to see some more. And yeah, stuff and things. Later, dreamers.